Way back in 1703, a massive storm hit the southern coast of England. It was a hurricane known as the Great Storm, and it took over 8,000 lives. Today, we know quite a bit about that storm and what actually happened when it came ashore. We know so much because we have a reliable way to research and document events, places, and people who matter. Using two major kinds of sources, we can establish the facts and information that represent the most accurate version of events. Here's how it works. When an event like the Great Storm happens, there are usually people who witnessed it or experienced it directly. They were there. In the Great Storm, these were residents living on the coast, weather observers, and ship captains, for example. No one else had better information than these people, and in many cases, they provided accounts of what happened via memoirs, interviews, creative writing, scientific documents, and more. These are the primary sources for research about the storm. If you were to write an article about the experience of the Great Storm, the primary sources would be considered the best information because it came from people who were actually there. But for your article, other sources of information may also be helpful. First-hand accounts are great, but can be misleading or inconsistent by themselves. Often, great information can be found from researchers who, many years later, gathered the primary source information and analyzed it. This can uncover new facts and versions of the event, such as the extent of the damage or how it compared to other storms in history. This research has the power to change how we look at the storm. For your article, this is considered a secondary source. So, for any important part of history, you are likely to find two types of sources that can work together to give you a strong sense of the event. There are the primary sources, accounts of people who were there, and secondary sources, documentation and analysis of primary sources and other relevant information after the fact. By understanding the types of sources you have and how to use them in your projects, you can bring your audience the best experience and most accurate information.